Hi guys, this is Nilan from the BCIS. We have Mr. Irakli Khodeli from UNESCO joining us today. And as some of you might know, we just had an LQA to mark World Mother Language Day. Firstly, thank you for joining us. Now, if I could just ask you, start with a very simple question. What is a mother language and why should we be worried about it?
Well, mother language is the language that you speak in your family, a language that you grow up with. Some people don't necessarily have one mother language. Sometimes, in today's world, increasingly you have multilingual families. But there is always a language or two that we all identify ourselves with. It is important because languages are disappearing. Experts say that out of 6,000–7,000 languages that we have around the world today, half of them will disappear by the end of the century unless we make policy intervention and safeguard these languages from disappearing. A lot of these languages are spoken by a relatively small number of people, and a lot of these languages are mother tongues. That's why it's important.
One of the big themes that came out of the LQA that we just had was how language was a tool of power. Now, as the world goes through this era of urbanization and industrialization, we will see many communities drift towards languages that give them economic power, rather than, let's say, languages that they have a cultural affinity to. What do we do to stop this sort of tide of disappearing languages?
Right. Stopping the tide of disappearing languages is not necessarily contradicting the trend of learning certain global languages that help people integrate and benefit from the processes of globalization. These things shouldn't necessarily be viewed in contradictory terms. In fact, learning in mother tongue, in mother language, is sometimes conducive to then also learning other languages and being integrated into the global system of education. That is what's important to note, that for this year, the International Mother Tongue Day theme is multilingual education. So when a kid or when a child has an ability to learn in school in her or his mother tongue, that reinforces a cognitive aspect of education. That means that the kid has a chance to relate directly the outcomes of the learning to her or his life through the mother tongue. And that makes that person better skilled to then take on other languages, including the languages that then will allow this person to continue education in the field of specialization that they choose. So, not necessarily contradictory. Now, what we do need to do to safeguard the small languages is that we should maintain the diversity, and we should make sure that there are enough resources available for teacher training, production of materials in these languages that are endangered. And that the public policies support the continuation of usage of this language within these minority populations. This is not an easy task, it's a challenge, it requires resources, but these resources are worth the aim that they will be spent on, because diversity, cultural diversity is really important, it's really beneficial for a country, and language is one of the primary expressions of that diversity.
Now, with that being said, as a final question, so what is your assessment of the future in this regard? Are you optimistic?
Yes, definitely. I'm optimistic because I think that there is a growing understanding of the importance of multilingualism. There are certain positive trends in that regard. As I said, you see more and more people actually reaching out and learning some languages that are not necessarily economically feasible. These are not languages that will help them earn more money, but this is just for the sake of knowing another language. So yes, positive, but definitely positive.
Thank you so much, Mr. Khodeli. So guys, once again, thank you for joining us. If you like our content, please subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. Take care and see you soon.